Alright, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about the elusive One Ski Quiver versus multi-ski quiver. Now, some people say that you can have one ski that does everything you need.
Most people out there just want to have one pair of skis. So if you're going to have one pair of skis, it's really kind of referred to as, an all mountain, all condition, super versatile ski, right? Now, skiers, for the most part, want one pair of skis to do it all. Manufacturers, ski brands, they want to sell a lot of skis. So they produce what the market wants, and what the market wants is one ski that can do it all. Basically, whatever ski can cover the most use cases and perform the best in all categories is basically the best selling.
And then you've got some YouTubers with too many skis, if you ask me. Just some people have a ton of skis in their quiver. So who's right, who's wrong? Is it somewhere in the middle? And as always, yes. But that's too easy of an answer. Let's dive right into it. What do I think about the one ski quiver versus the multi-ski quiver? And how many pairs of skis should you own? Now, it's not quite that simple. The number of skis you have really depends on how many different types of skiing you're doing and what you want those skis to do. I would say any given ski can do one job really well or two jobs pretty well. So, for instance, let's say all you care about is carving and freestyle. You want a twin tip that carves really well. Well, then you are the perfect candidate for a Black Crow's Mirrors core. Let's say all you care about is getting through sticky, wet, heavy snow and short radius turns. Then you're looking at the Vocal Kendo. Let's say all you care about is the light powder and carving. Then you're gonna want something like a Salomon QST 106, a Bent 110, a Rossignol Sender 110 free. Let's say all you really care about is, I want dampness, but I also want a really good carving ski. Then you're probably looking at a Stokely Stormrider. Each ski, I would say, can do two things pretty well. And then you get like specialty tools like Atomic Bent 120 or a Salomon QST Blank, where those are just powder skis. Those are really just powder skis. You can argue that the Bents are somewhat freestyle-y skis, but you really wouldn't actually take them on the park. You might just be doing some freestyle kind of moves off trail. So the first thing you need to figure out when you're trying to figure out how many skis you need is, what do you need the skis to do? And do you want the ski to be really good at that, or do you want it to be able to do a couple different things? My personal skis that I ski on are the Atomic Maverick 88 TIs. That's kind of my daily driver. Because it's a lightweight ski that carves well, it's very accurate, and I kind of like it for that reason. But it also has the Horizon Tech in the tips, so if you get like a surprise powder day, you can still enjoy what's there. And anytime there's a surprise powder day, it tends to not accumulate more than like 4 inches over the few hours I'm skiing anyway. So like that Horizon Tech and the 88 width is more than enough. The only times they really get overwhelmed is if I just completely didn't look at the, the snow meter or whatever, then maybe I could get surprised. But for the most part, I have a Atomic Maverick 88 Ti for carving and daily driving and light powder, and then I've got a Salomon QST 106 that I use as my designated powder ski. There's people like Zach, where Zach likes freestyle skis, so he has park skis specifically for the park and rails, or he has some skis that he likes, where he keeps them out in Tahoe when he's visiting family. It just depends on what you want that ski to do. Now, should you have one pair of skis or multiple pairs of skis? Really, you have to look at it holistically. Like, the one ski quiver isn't total nonsense, as much as I like to kind of bully it and beat up on it. There are people, I get these all the time in the comments, where the one ski quiver makes sense for them because maybe they're traveling somewhere and they don't want to carry multiple pairs of skis. Or maybe they are traveling somewhere and they leave that pairs of skis there and they just want it to be like a safe bet for whatever conditions is, specific to that area. It just depends on what you want. What I would recommend for everyone is build out a multi-ski quiver and just start from the ground up. So what I would tell people is get an all mountain ski that carves well, that's comfortable for like what you go on daily. So, out in Idaho, I like the Atomic Maverick 88, but if I was back east and there's more chatter from the ice, I would want something more damp like a Stokely Stormrider 88. So just pick what you want for where you live. Like, pick a daily driver, get that covered, and then if you want to start like adding to your quiver, adding to your collection, then I would get a designated pair of powder skis. A powder day on powder skis is totally worth it. Will you use it a ton? Maybe not, I don't know. They don't tend to get a ton of mileage, but the days you're on them, it's so worth it, and it's so much fun. And then from there, if you want a specialized pair of race skis, you can go with that. If you want something kind of unique, you're like, oh, I want a crud cutter that's also gonna carve well. The 2025 Nordica Enforcer 99s are actually good, as much as I have a checkered history with them. We won't get into that. You can mix and match what you like with the conditions, but just be realistic. Like, I currently don't really have a big crud cutter ski in my quiver, but that's because a lot of the days where you would use it, one, I can be testing and reviewing skis, so I might as well save those days for those specific types of skis, things like Stokely, Nordica, and K2. Or I just go early in the morning and ski on the snow when it's firm. So I've been able to kind of dance around it, but you know, that is something I could add. So yeah, just pick what you want. Start with what you use the majority of your days, like 70 to 80% of the days, and a ski that's good for those conditions. Then get a ski for what I think is just like, oh, your dream days, your chef's kiss powder days. Then after you've got a good powder ski that you like, start looking for those more nuanced specific skis. You can build your quiver out as much as you want. You can get all the way to Jeff, who's got like 10 pairs of skis. But you know, he's not the norm. He's doing this for a living, and he's kind of the exception. But you know, I think you could have 5-6 pairs of skis and it would still cover just about everything. I also say this to you as somebody who is not sponsored by anyone. I'm not paid by anyone. I am just telling you honestly. If you buy skis, there is a small affiliate link that I get a small percentage of, but I do not want you to buy a bunch of skis you don't need. That is not my MO. I'm not here to sell you anything. I've seen comments saying, oh, well, you could tell this guy sells skis. Nope, I do not sell skis. This is just my honest opinion. So if you like that kind of content, you want to support it, before I forget, please consider liking and subscribing. That's a free way to help the channel. You can also join our membership, and you know, you can use links down below to buy whatever skis you want. It tracks for about a month. But I don't sell skis. That's not what this is about. The other thing I've seen people say with some of the ski shops that I've been into, they will kind of say like, well, this ski that's a One Ski Quiver, like a Salomon QST 98, it does just as well in the powder and just as well in the carving. And that's just not true. With that wider width, what happens that you're kind of giving up in carving is your edge to edge time. Because they're so wide, there's just more ski for you to kind of transfer over. If you've ever like had to twist wood, like a 1x8 and a 2x4, it takes more energy to twist a wider board. So, you know, that time, when you think about how quickly you're turning, adds up over the duration of your run. The other thing is like, what was it? Oh yeah, and then that like a Salomon QST 98 can float in the powder just as well as a QST 106. That's also just not true. You don't have that float. The skis tend to have a slightly different shape. The flow of the ski is just different. I feel like that QST 98, that One Ski Quiver kind of area, does a pretty good job. Like, it's not going to get you stuck in the deep snow. It'll kind of allow you to survive, but the difference between a 98 and a 106 is surviving and thriving. So anyway, how many skis do you need? I guess that just depends on what things you need out of a ski. If you need a park ski, then you need a park ski. If you need a powder ski, you need a powder ski. But just like do kind of an assessment of what you're doing the majority of, and then pick your first ski based on that, and then just build it out over time based on what your needs are. Yeah, I think a lot of people, if you're only skiing like 10 days a year, One Ski Quiver probably works for you. If you're skiing more days than that and you're really like avid about getting out there on powder days, you know, get a daily dry ring, then get a specialized powder ski. And if you like are doing a nighttime race league, then get a designated race ski. But don't feel like you need to get all of this right away. Just get what you need as you need it. Don't get kind of suckered into overbuying and then just having skis sit in your shed. There's nothing worse than having gear that you don't use. That's how I feel about everything. Bikes, skis, you name it. If I'm not using it, it's out the door. So I, on the other end, try to be really careful when I do make purchases. The other thing I'll say is that we are definitely in a golden age of skis. I think it's amazing how many different types of skis there are. The fact that we can have a ski like the Meier Core where it does freestyle skiing and carves really well, or the fact that you can have like an Atomic Maverick 100 or 105 CTI that carves well and does kind of big mountain powder. I don't know, I love that we're in this golden age of skis, but I think for, you know, the average person looking into it, it can be a little overwhelming. So, you know, just focus on what you need. What I tell people all the time when I'm giving them ski recommendations, make a list of what things you want out of a ski, what characteristics are most important, and then you can watch any of my reviews or any of these other reviews and just go through and see like, okay, which boxes does it check? And, you know, go based on what's your priority. If you really want a ski that's damp, Nordica Enforcers, Stokely Stormriders are very easy to recommend. If you want something that has a lot of versatility and can kind of cover a large amount of the mountain on any given day, you got the Blizzard Rustler 10. I don't know, there's so many different things a ski can cover. So make your list and then go into it watching these videos. You know, they're a free resource, and I just do it because I found that there wasn't enough information when I was trying to buy my own skis, so that's why I started this channel. But anyway, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing down below. That's a free way to support the channel. You can also become a member. We have a bunch of perks where you get to see videos early. I will go and give you ski recommendations if you email me. So lots of perks, lots of ways to support the channel. But more than anything, just thanks for being here. Thanks for taking the time to watch my video. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.